Are you coming? Are you coming? Let's see who's coming. We're live. We're live on YouTube, baby. Let's just get this set up. Hope you guys are well. So today is how to wash your car in the midday sun. So that's one of the important things at the moment as we're getting into this time of weather, time of year. Let me just turn me on so I can see. There we go. Hello, Humberto. Welcome back. Welcome back. So I can see all of the text now as well. There we go. Can we hear me all right? Everyone hear me all right? So, first part of washing your cars when you're working. Like I said, I've just started this business this year. I've been doing a content creating for around 4 years now. I worked at a unit, got a bit of experience around cars, enjoyed cars quite for a long time. And today we got booked in. We have got a 320D in that I maintain quite regularly. Now it hasn't been in since December for a wash, so it's absolutely filthy. So we're gonna have to use a lot of chemicals today. We're gonna have to use a lot of chemicals. Let me just move that around. Get that up a bit higher. There we go. So we are going to have to use a few more chemicals. So what I tend to do first is get myself set up with all my equipment. I've got my own all set up. I've got enough citrus in there to get me through this detail. And I'm just topping up my wheel shampoo. This is the IK Foamer. We're going to go through the processes. It's baking hot here. It's around 25 degrees at the moment, which is quite a good temperature. But it's not good for washing cars. And we're going to do this without the gazebo as well. But there are a few tips and tricks we're going to be giving you today when it comes to how to wash your car at home in this midday sun. Now, this is going to be more for beginners. This is also going to be about processes as well. So any clients that will be watching this, hello. And also how I go about these processes. So we're going to be doing some garage therapy wheel shampoo. So we're going to walk you through that. I do love wheel shampoo. It's a great little product. So how much do we need to use? So I've got a litre of water in there. If you haven't got something online, you can go on and do a calculator. But you're roughly talking about 30 ml to 1.5 litres of water. Now, when it comes to your IK Foamer, you only need to fill them up halfway. Now, lucky enough, this is the pressurised one, so this is the Pro Plus 2. So this means that I can actually fill this up a little bit more. So let me just give that a little swizz. But one of the things I've been working with at the moment is actually starting to mix up neat when I'm working. So what does that mean? Well, that means that in certain situations, which isn't this situation, you've got hard water. And with hard water, what you tend to find is that if you leave your snow foam in a cannon and you're in a hard water area, or if you're using, basically if you haven't got 0 ppm, 0 ppm is parts per million. So if your water where you're working or where you're washing a car has a lot of minerals in it, when you put the surfactants in the product, what will happen is that water will eat away at the product and it will become a bit dud, a bit flat. A bit like if you pour a pint and you get a flat head, normally that's from a dirty glass. So these things can have an effect on the surfactants on the vehicle. So I tend to find that even with even mixing up fresh, I've been testing this with different snow foam cannons, fresh, and leaving it for a couple of days, leaving it for a week, and seeing how the product performs. And there is a big difference in performance when it comes to these situations. So what I'm going to be doing now, or what I might try and do, a little stirrer, is stirring these. I'll talk about this in a minute. This product, I'm interested to get your opinion on this. It'll be interesting. But starting to stir up the product to mix it down. Now, as you well know with shampoos and all these different product surfactants, if you was just to put shampoo in your hands and rinse it out, it's not going to do any work, right? So again, when you activate shampoo in your hands, or hand wash when you're washing your hands, it's got to activate first. So the problem is with shampoos, as you can see, is how thick they are. And Will shampoo is quite thick. It's quite thick. So if you think about putting this into water and you just pour that in, it's not actually going to blend. You're not blending the products. And if you don't understand the chemical makeup of some products, most products have a very, very, very high concentrate of water. So water is the carrier. So mixing the product up really, really, really well before you're going to use it is going to increase performance. It's going to increase the chance of the product doing its job. Just by plonking it in, giving it a little whiz around, isn't going to do a lot. And I have noticed that, and we'll come to that later on in the video when it comes to the shampoo for the snow foam cannon. That's going to be a really important part. So we've got ourselves down there, we've got behind us, behind you, we've got an IK ready for the pre-wash. So we're going to be going through some pre-wash stages today. We're going to be talking about what process I use, how I'm going to work with these conditions. We've also got a few little tools as well and accessories to work with today, which is going to be quite good fun. We've got the Cransel pressure washer. I'm going to give you some feedback on that and what I think about it, pros and cons. I'm going to give you some pros and cons about working outside, what the differences are, what spotless water can do. So we're going to go through this whole process. We're going to do this is a long video, so you might want to come back later. I'm going to put chapters on this later on. This is a real raw, in-depth way of obviously doing a video. So down here, what you'll see is if I spin you round, there you go. I've started to build my own system with my car. So I'm now going to be going mobile. So I have a 3/4 inch hose off the back of this, which is fantastic. And these are a really good little tool. These are the Gardena hose locks. Now look, when you take it off, it doesn't leak water. And I was worried about it might have a restriction problem when I obviously connect it to the Cransel. I'd love to have something that was a little bit more straight onto this, give more pipe, because obviously what you can see there is I've got a quick release on the Cransel. Let me just pull that down a bit so you can see. There you go. What you're going to see is I've got a quick release on the Cransel. So that means I get this opportunity to make life a little bit efficient, a bit faster. So there's the end of it. This goes just straight on, bosh. And one of the things when you're working with your Cransel is you need to make sure you prime this first. But having this ability to have a 3/4 inch pipe coming straight out of the water tank means that I'm going to get a lot more flow, because this is the K10. Now the 7122 has a lower flow rate, so it doesn't chew through your water that much. This is a 210 litre tank. This is going to do the whole car. I have snuck 40 litres out of it, so I'm hoping it'll do the whole car. We're going to go around and do a little inspection in a minute on the vehicle. As you can see, we're going to work through that. Let me just fill up this. So what I tend to do is fill up my 2 litre. I tend to keep some spotless water in there. As you can see, look at the flow rate. That's a really, really, really good flow rate. And that's considering we're actually on a bit of a tilt, on a bit of a decline at the moment. So that means that the tap's coming from this side, but the car's tilted at an angle, and I'm still getting a really, really good flow rate, which is really good. That just shows that the gravity-fed system works really, really well. So we've got that to one side. So this is great for me, so I can dip into that. If I run out of any products, anything, I can dip straight into that later. I have had an upgrade on this. So what you're going to find is what I used to use is I used to have these little plug sockets. These are Bluetooth plug sockets. You can get them on Amazon. I've got them on my Amazon link page. They're great. You get 5 of these, and you can use these, which is great. You get a little remote with them, which is awesome. Which is here. You get a little remote, and that gives you the opportunity to have up to 5 devices. So I've got my pressure washer on 1, Hoover on number 2. I've got my chargers on number 3, and I've got 2 spare for anything else. But what I've decided to do is just upgrade. And why have I upgraded? Well, because I had a little bit of a problem when I had that in my pocket, that when I was working, sometimes I was hoovering the car and sorting some stuff out, that the pressure wash would switch on. And one of these things about these systems is they're not the TS system. The TS system is a total stop system, which means that when you finish pressing the trigger, it means that the generator, the pressure washer switches off. With this is continuously running. So what you don't want to have this is continuously running when you're not pulling the trigger, because all of the valves, all of the seals and stuff in there will cook. This will get really, really hot. It's like an old VW Beetle, but when the water flow goes through it, it cools it down. I'm sure Malcolm from Aquaspray is going to check me on this. So Malcolm, if I'm wrong, please put it down in the comment section. So what we have to do, so the first part about this is we need to prime this. So we've got getting our products ready. We're working with a Garage Therapy Citrus. First of all, I've got the so I'm using 300 mils of Garage Therapy Citrus. I've got 100 mils of Garage Therapy Snow Foam, and I've got that in a container, which is the IK Foamer 12. So this is the IK Foamer 12, and this has a lovely little attachment on it, which means it's battery operated. So that means that I can just press the button on the side, and what that'll do is when I'm spraying, instead of having to stop to pump up, that means it's going to fill this back up with air, so that it keeps that pre-wash and that efficiency going faster and faster and faster. Now we'll have to switch up the generator in a minute, but moving on to the next part of it is I spoke to Malcolm, and what I did with the remotes is I went into and get myself one of the remotes that Malcolm does from Aquaspray. This is going to be a new video coming out. I won't go too much into detail, but basically there's a little bit of technology inside this that connects to the thing that I can now turn this off and on, and that's isolated particularly just to this. I'll be interested to know if they do that for the Hoover. And on this side I've got the generator key, so this means I can turn the generator on and off, which is going to save me fuel, which is going to save me money, which is on the long one, which is going to be fantastic. So the products, like I said, I was going to be using Citrus Snow Foam. We've got 8,000 millilitres of water, of spotless water, to 300 mils of citrus, which is around a 1 to 15 mix. That's going to give us enough potency to do the pre-wash. We're then going to go into a snow foam cannon for the wheels. We're going to use some strong products on the alloy wheels, because the alloy wheels are coated. They've got a ceramic coating on them. So we need to lift that off, because the car hasn't been washed since December, I think it is, if I remember rightly, around that sort of time. So it needs some really, the wheels have been, the fallout's going to be quite aggressive on it. They are ceramic coated, which I did myself. I'm going to talk a bit more in detail on how I did that later on, and what I feel about it, and also I'd be very interested to see the results on that, on how that's worked. So I'm looking forward to that. But this car was, last time I did do it, I did wax it. I used double speed wax by Built Hamber. This has been polished, protected, and all that sort of stuff by me, so I know exactly what's on the vehicle. So I really want to go into detail about what processes I use, and hopefully this will go seamlessly. But if not, we're going to have a little bit of fun along the way anyway, right? So first things first, we need to prime this. So let's switch on the generator. So this is the generator, this is the XL. So like I said, I can use it via the remote. It's going to get a little bit louder, so I apologise. So popping that on there, you need to prime, make sure you prime it. So switch this on at the back. As you can see, that works great. There we go. That's fully primed now, so that means I can get my hose reel straight in. And let's take you over and have a look. Let's switch off switch the generator off. So I'm going to be having my phone with me, guys, so you can actually ask me questions. So here we are, I'm with you here. So if you do have any questions, feel free to let me know down in the comment section if you've got any questions, if you need any help, or if you just want to enjoy a nice little wash and talk. Watch me natter along the way. So let's get in and show you what we're working with. There's the phone there. So, like I said, from December, these alloy wheels are coated. So I'm going to be really interested to see these wheels on this side was sprayed with a gun. So I air sprayed these and left these with the gun to dry and obviously cure. On the other side, the two wheels on the other side, we did this with a spray on, but with a buff off. So we removed product, we buffed all this product off. So I'd be interested to see on the testing how these are performing so far. These were done, I think they were done last year. The products we're going to go through, but the pre-wash procedure is going to be quite intense. You're probably going to think I'm a bit nuts when it comes to my pre-wash, but what I like to do is I like to do the wheels last. There's a reason for that, and we'll get into that in a minute. I also, quite controversially, I'm a big fan of the one bucket method. So I'm going to go into a bit more detail on why the one bucket method is going to be something that's going to be quite a controversial technique, but hopefully you can give me some insight to think whether I'm dangerously scratching cars or whether I'm efficiently cleaning cars without any damage. But you'll be the judge of it. The comment section's always the judge. So one of the things about the procedure as well, we talk about efficiency. These are the back wheels. One of the things you're going to notice about when you're cleaning cars, it's all about building this plan in your head, building this picture. So with cars, what you're going to find is the bias with all brakes is 30% back, 70% front. Don't quote me on that, but most brakes are front wheel biased because of obviously the centrifugal force. When you're going forwards, you're going to need that stopping and the anchoring on the front. That's why you tend to find drum brakes on smaller cars at the back and disc brakes on the front. So with that in mind, that means you're going to have heavier contamination on front of wheels than you will have on the back. Now that even works because this is a rear wheel drive car, so this even works for the same thing, but its brakes always going to be worse on the front. So I always say, when you're doing wheels, in this kind of weather we would do one at a time because obviously the weather's quite bad. So in a situation where the weather's bad, you want to make sure that you're doing one wheel at a time, which means it's really hot. But if you're in a cooler climate, you could basically spray products on both wheels at the same time and work away on one wheel while the other wheel is doing the dwelling. So start with the rear wheels first, works really, really well. Car's not open. You know what these BMWs are like? The technology is so good that they lock themselves. So it's only in for a maintenance wash. I'm not going mad, but I just wanted to take an opportunity for you guys to see what it is. So just check all his door shuts. They obviously, because it's not been done for a long time, you're going to tend to find that these areas have got a bit of a build up. We're going to talk about how and when we attack these areas in the pre-wash. So I think that's enough now. I think you can see that there's a lot of dirt. Sometimes in certain vehicles you're going to find that in these areas here you're going to find some organic matter build up. These are the areas under here you're going to find you're going to get a lot more work. So these are what we call the armpits of the car, and the armpits of the car are the areas where lots of stuff gets stuck in. The easiest panels to clean are obviously the basic panels when you're using a wash bit, these areas, but everywhere where dirt can get stuck, as you can see here, we have got a little bit of organic matter, so we need to obviously tackle these areas. And I think the citrus is going to do that work as well. What I tend to do as well is lift up the bonnet. All the water runoff areas as well are the armpits as well. You can open the doors and just leave them at there you go, a slight ajar. That means that now the water is going to run off in those runoffs quite nicely. It's just a little snag. There you go. It's going to give you a little bit of gap. That's going to allow the water to run freely without completely soaking and saturating the vehicle. So obviously these areas here, because we live near a tree, where is the bonnet catch on these? It's a double pull, isn't it, on these ones? Well done, BMW. Double pull. There we go. Let's get this popped up in here. Because of where we live. Let me just put you down for a second. Why can't I find that? Ah. There's no catch. Like you say, what you're going to be able to see in these areas is all this build up. And I'm not sure about you, but weightless washes, these are the areas that when you're washing cars and detailing, we need to focus on the most. Engine bay's not in bad nick, so we're not going to do that today, but we're just doing a maintenance wash. But this is the areas that we want to focus on. And we're going to focus on them now, right now, because it's important to get rid of all that crap, get it out. So, let's get you back on the tripod. Let's give you some distance. I've got my phone on me, guys, so if you want to talk to me about products, if you've got any suggestions, if you've got any criticism, any arguments, anything, let's keep it sociable and informative. Let's find out. So let's get stuck into the washing, because I can't believe I've done 20 minutes just chatting crap. It's not crap, is it? It's valuable information. There you go. Right then, I hope you can still hear me. Let's get that pressure washer on. I can wash myself as well, look. How vain's that? So, make sure all your tools and products are set up first, because obviously this is going to save you a lot of time when it comes to being efficient. Let's pull this out. Let's get the wheel guards under the car, because like I said, one of the things we don't want is obviously is the braided hose to get stuck. So let's just pop these under there. Hopefully today I won't have my arse hanging out all the time. It's one of the biggest issues of trying to do a curtsy. I wear like I wear pants that are supposed to sit under your arse, like I'm some sort of young ghetto boy. Let's get these under there. There we go. So I had a cancellation today, so my neighbour's car is getting a priority. I never know whether these are supposed to go under the sides of the wheels or actually straight under the back of the wheels. I tend to like them in the corners a little bit. So my tool setup is, I've got an MTM SGS 35. And I use the nozzles that come with the Cransel fittings, so they're quick release. And again, got some quick release stuff. So I hate having stuff that I can literally take it apart. These are all on my Amazon page as well. So, one of the things we're talking about, and there's a big myth in this in the industry, and we're going to myth bust a little bit today, is do you put product on the car first, or do you pre-wash the car, or do you rinse the car first? Rinse the car or product first? That's the question I'm trying to answer. So let me just tap the panel of the car. And lucky enough, we're actually quite cool. So there's always this question about what works better, rinsing the car first or start again. Does products work better when it's rinsed first and you take the debris off and then you apply the chemical, or is it down to the fact that you get what I'm trying to say? I think it's just down to temperature, okay? I think it's all down to temperature. The reason why I believe people rinse cars before they start, it's nothing to do with the chemicals. If that was the case, your kitchen sides, you'd literally rinse them down with water, get your multi-surface cleaner, wipe it down, and then give it a rinse off afterwards. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't work like that. So for me in my head, the reason why rinsing became such a thing, and it's probably got lost on its way, is because it's all down to cooling the temperature. Checking the brakes, checking the wheels, checking things to see if they're hot. If they're not hot, we're going to be controversial. We're going to go in because the car's not hot at all. I don't know why. Probably because we just had a little bit of shade. But we're going to go in first with our cleaner. Because I believe that when you're watering down products and chemicals anyway, You're watering down products and chemicals anyway to the ratios you want them to, and that comes down to something we're going to talk about in the pre-wash is ratios and chemicals, and that's going to be the really important part of this conversation. So get it right into the areas we want. This is messy as hell under here. We're just going to start breaking that down. The citrus and the snow foam, you get this beautiful consistency. And also, because we're going to do the wheels last, this is all going to add into this pre-wash process. Now, one of the reasons why I do my wheels last is because the wheels are the dirtiest areas of the vehicle. So because we've done our inspection, you can see I'm layering up more soap into these areas. More soap going into there. That's where all that organic matter is. What you're going to see, guys, I'm going to bring you in. You're going to start seeing the browning already, okay? So this browning is occurring already on the wheels, right? So we've got that fantastic finish that we want already. Now I'm going to tip around the other side. Now, how long do you need to leave this chemical on for? Well, obviously because it's a foam, it means it's going to dwell for a bit longer. So if it was a liquid, it would run off the car quite quickly and you'd end up with streaking. Because it's a foam, you're going to end up with that little bit longer longevity on the product to stick around, so we won't get that streaking. But when you're applying this product, work into areas that you think are going to be more needed. So work thicker along the bottom, then thin it out as you get up to the top. You know, the roof, unless it's kept under a tree, isn't going to need as much chemical as, say, the back wheel and these areas around here. Obviously aerodynamics play a huge part when it comes to dirt. Exhaust tips as well. Again, these areas here, this is where all the dirt is. Right down here. Yeah? In these areas where all the dirt is. You can see those tyres are really browning up in those areas there. Wherever you find tar spots, you're going to find that that's going to be exactly where all the dirt's going to stay. That's from the throw off of the wheels. So another myth buster is that I love to talk about is going to be to do with throwing snow foam over the top. Now, let's get you back out here. Now this is ready to rinse off, okay? Now this is all done, we're ready to rinse off. And if you are trying to get more dwell time, what you're doing is by putting a snow foam blanket over this car now, what you're doing is you're re-wetting the panels, so you're not going to allow this product to basically dry out. So I don't believe that applying a snow foam over the top of this is going to accelerate the product to double down. There's a lot of tests on that and you can argue with me about it, but I'll give you an explanation why. What it does is the best efficient product cleaner for dirt is going to be citrus over a snow foam. So we're going to rinse this off first, and then we're going to whack on with the snow foam, because citrus is going to do more work. So we started applying here, so we're going to go back to where we started. So one thing you can notice already is the Council K10 has got some kick to it. I think it's 10 litres per minute. We're not going to rinse those wheels, we're going to leave them for a second. Now the pressure washer becomes our brush. So all this organic matter down here, we're going to use pressure to squeeze that out. So one thing you've got to be aware of is if your product starts to dry out, just give it a quick dose while you're working round. So because that's going to be the last area I'm going to, just re-wetting that down, just reactivating it, gives me a bit of time. I'm wetting down the wheels. So we're going to find on these cars all the rails, all those areas, all the door shuts, we're going in there now. One of my advantages is why I'm washing cars in the midday sun. Title of this video. It's because my magic tool is the spotless water. Spotless water is what's going to give you the ability to be able to work in the sun without having any issues at all. One of the main areas you're going to struggle with in the sun, well, one of the main areas you're going to struggle with is the sun's come out now, right? So now I'm really up against it. But one of the main areas you've got to worry about isn't going to be the panels. It's actually the glass. This is where water spots build up. This is where you're going to get your worst kind of damage when it comes to chemical staining. So let's get ourselves out our snow foam. While that's dwelling on the bonnet, I've already mixed up my snow foam. This is Garage Therapy wheel shampoo. We've got a stronger dilution ratio today because of the contamination on the wheels. So we've gone for 40 mils to. So we've got 960 of water on a 1 litre can, 960 to 40 mil. So let's pump in. Tell you what, do you want to come with me? Come with me, let's make it more interactive. Come on. You can come with me, yeah? Yeah, you're boring sat on there, aren't you? Come on. I could do this. I could be forensic detailing. Woohoo! Let's go. Come on, let's do some satisfying content. So we're going to do this on the wheels. Every detailer knows they do that. Don't lie. You all know you do that. There you go. That's better. And that's what happens, see? See how loose that is now? Right, that's because that's been, even though that's been spotless water, you can see how loose that is. If it was mixed up fresh, which we're going to get into later on with the contact wash, so we're now onto the second pre-wash, aren't we, with the wheels? So what's my reasoning behind this? Well, this is chemical knowledge. This is using the chemicals to do the work. When we spend all this money on chemicals, we might revisit that later with fresh products. Yeah, we'll revisit that one. Put that there. Okay. I'm going to switch my GoPro on as well, so I can save this one for later. The GoPro's on as well, so we get to see both, which is great. So now you can see this is starting to separate. Number one cannon at the top. There we go. Okay, cool. Okay, right, let's get the snow foam out, let's get ready to go. So, this is exactly what I'm going to show you. So, let's get back into it. This is exactly what I'm going to show you the difference. Okay? Let's get you on the mixing table. So, product's all rinsed off the vehicle, so whatever happens now is fine because there's no product on the car now. So, this is my wheel shampoo. Right, so we're going to use, so I'm going to need this in a second. We're going to use 30ml straight into the cannon. Done that wrong already. There we go. So 30ml to 500ml. My apologies. We're going a little bit stronger because I wanted some extra cling. Going back to the same routine as well. Let's get ourselves a little magic sponge. Little bit of stir. These little cocktail. That's it. So Maz is going to be screaming at me going, you don't need that much. Well, yeah, I want that extra cling time because one thing I don't want in the sunshine is products to run. I need that extra bit of thickness. So now that's mixed together. Fantastic. And that'll do all four wheels lovely. So that'll be ready. So it's ready to run out. I still need to test my ratios a little bit when it comes to that stuff. So now we want 100 mils Sorry, 500 mils. There we go. We've got that, and we've got some Gary Sterrett Bear. Gary Sterrett Bear. Now, there's two choices you got here. You could go straight into Decon shampoo now, and you can actually use it as a spray, as a pre-wash. Haven't done that yet. We'll do another video on that later down the line. So we're going to take 50 ml. We're going to mix that in. Again, like the mad scientist I am. Mixing that together. I didn't put it in the didn't put it in the wheel bottle, didn't I? There's my wheel shampoo. By the way, this is all dwelling at the same time, by the way, so we're laughing at the moment. Products on the wheels. I should have done this at the beginning. This is not good practice. It's naughty behaviour. But lucky enough, because the wheel shampoo's on there, we're going to layer this up over the top. This is the MTM 22.2. And there we go. So we've got wheel shampoo and our Gary Sterrett Snow Foam. Right, now you can see that started to dissipate now. So, as you see, the wheel shampoo starting to dry out a little bit. So let's get our snow foam on the vehicle. There we go. You want the money shot, didn't you? You want the money shot. Come on in. Give you the money shot. That's the shot you want. There you go. Okie dokie, right. Let's get this turned on. If you watch this video to the end, I'm going to give you a really good discount code. I've got a really good bonus tip coming up as well, right at the end, which I hope you're going to love. So now, the wheels have had, this is their third lot of chemical. Not been rinsed off yet, just dwelling, right? So I haven't supercharged it, I just haven't rinsed it. Let me know down in the comment section for the people that are watching, and I appreciate your watching. Please tell me where you're from, what your name is and where you're from. That'd be fantastic, so I can give you guys a massive thumbs up. Second of all, what do you think of that foam? It's good, right? It's thick enough, it's soft enough, it's dripping off lovely. We're loving it. We are loving it, loving it, loving it. Okay, so now we're going to swap back to the wheel shampoo while that's dwelling. I'm going to show you the difference in the thickness between the two, because we're going to do the arches now as well. Let's show you how much thicker it is when it's freshly made. Big difference, right? Beautiful, Beautiful work. Give those arches a really good strong. Oh, we're on it. We are on it today, boys. Again, juggling and efficiency. Where are we going next? Let me know down in the comment section. Where are we going? What area of the vehicle are we on next? That's it, that wheel shampoo. So those arches can dwell now. We are now going to, now while we're waiting, look at that consistency of the snow foam. I mean, isn't that lovely? Absolutely beautiful. Look at that nice layer of snow that's sitting on there, hitting that organic matter. Beautiful. Wind's right now. Door shut. It's pre-wash, 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 pre-wash. It's all about using the chemicals. You spent your hard-earned money on them. Get them working. Get these puppies working. Lovely jubbly. Now, got my waxing away brush. And we're in. Come on then. Oh, what, you want to come? All right, come on then. My apologies. My apologies. There you go. You get yourself a seat. That's it. You sit there. Hope you guys are having a lovely drink. Let me know down in the comment section. What are you drinking right now? You got yourself a little stiff drink? Just light bit of agitation. Nothing too hard. Just gently in there. Tell you what, it's not too bad for a car that's not been washed since December. Just shows that good maintenance pays off. Excuse me for the pants shot, boys. Don't start subscribing to my OnlyFans, for God's sake. Still waiting to find out where you're from, boys and girls. Where are you? Where are you from? I'll have to look on the comment section in a second. Look at those wheels. Look at how well they're coming up. Oh, fantastic. It's coming up really well. This is a very nice light brush. It's not going to mar or scratch. Very safe to use on these areas. Nicely agitated. Remember what we said? Allow that water to run off nicely. That's it. Car's starting to dry out now. Just a fraction. Be careful where you are in the world. Like I said, if you've got really, really hot climates, you might have to go panel by panel, okay? And have that. You might have to have the pressure wash review at all times to be able to be reactive. I'm trying to be safe and quick all at the same time. This side's always the dirtiest. It's the nearest side to the curb and all the puddles. Right, look at that snow foam. It's ready. It's cooked. We're ready to go. Whoops, daisy. Whoops, daisy, there we go. Right. Pump, 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 pump it up. Let's have a look to see what you're saying. Andrew Fraser, hello my son, how are you mate? You alright? Long time no see. So now full rinse. So because we're going around panel by panel, a quick spritz of water all over. That's it. It's just going to give you a little bit of peace of mind. That's it, just reactivate that snow foam. Not allowing it to dry in any way at all. Now, what I've got in my arsenal is a little Sutner. This Sutner, honestly, the Temu and the Amazon quick dirt blasters have got nothing on this. I've tried them all. I bought the Sutner because I thought, do you know what, why not spend a little bit more extra money? This thing, honestly, is so consistent. Now, if this is my gold wash, this is just going to be my silver wash today. I've got bronze, silver, gold, and platinum. I'd have a jack under the side skirts. I'd lift the car up, and I'd be getting in there with brushes. But this is just a blast. This is just a dirt blast. Bit more water. Whistle while we work. What's your favourite shampoo? What are you using at the moment, guys? Put it down in the comment section. What's your next product you're going to be using on your vehicle when you're washing your car? What's your ratios like this time of year? Are you making them weaker, or are you stronger? How often do you wash your car? Beautiful, beautiful work. Honestly, we're flowing. It's the first time I've done a live and everything's sort of going well. Right, come on in. I know you want me. Come on, let's show you what we've done. Considering we were talking for what, 20 minutes at the start and it's 55 minutes. What you can see is you can see a bit of streaking. Streaker! So I'm going to go and hit that again with a little bit of APC. That's the telltale sign. You can see the panel's quite flat as well. Nothing's beading on this at all, so you can tell that it's completely clogged up. So that little bit of streaking you can see down the bottom, which means there's two things. I could either have made my APC stronger, or I could go and hit it again. I'm always about preserving protection. So the stronger the product, the more premature you're going to age that protection, which means it's going to run off quicker. How good are those wheels coming back, but they are not, look, for a ceramic coated wheel, they really need some love. So I'll tell you what we got. We've got a secret ingredient. Because that is basically mineral deposits embedded in that clear coat, which is not a good shout. So, note to self, products weren't strong enough, but obviously the amount of time we had, it's just chipping away. We don't want to, do you know, I spent a long time polishing this car, over 50 hours machine polishing this car. So do you think I'm going to go in now and contact wash and touch that? Absolutely not. So when it comes to testing products, okay, every product works. There's not a product that doesn't work, but it has to work at its different ratios. So it's about strength, what you mixed it up at. So then it comes down to costing. How much does it cost to buy the product? And is it going to be efficient? If you need to use it one-to-one, that's going to last you no time at all, whereas you spend a little bit extra. So cost per application is a much better test for me. You guys are so patient. I love you. Right, so it's at this point. Jonny knew he fucked up. No, not at all. So let me just rinse that off the windscreen. So remember, spotless water. This is going to help us. As long as there's no suds. So this is real well tested. So the double speed wax hasn't really lasted that long. So I'm going to be questioning that, whether it's a go-to product. You can see it's starting to help, but it's not doing a lot. So let's get out some more products. What have we got that's going to shift that? So let me go into my arsenal, because that I'm not happy with that water behaviour on the wheels. So run over my citrus. So I'm going to go with a wheel acid, and I've got a fantastic wheel acid from Autoglym, and I love it. Now I've got this mixed up at a 1:5, I think it is 1:5 ratio. Yeah, it's definitely 1:5. Right. So we're going to spray this on, and we're going to get that to attack it. Then we're going to go around with a pre-wash again. Big shout out to Autoglym, by the way. They've been. And by the way, PP is really important when it comes to wheel acid. Da 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 da. Where's my bottle? But this acid, like a lot of people are scared of acid, and the testing I've done with the acid is okay. Like it's good. It's good to go. I'm happy with it. It's been safe enough for me when I've been using it. There she is. There she is. That's it. Big shout out to Detail Bug Care for sending me out there. Because you need the chemical triggers. Let's mix this back in there. Now, one thing I will say about cost efficiency is that you can see how pink that is, how strong that is. One thing I'll say about chemical efficiency and costings is actually what you use to apply. If you're going to be applying stuff for a snow foam cannon, you are going to find that the snow foam cannon is going to eat through product. If you're going to be using product like this into a little sprayer, you're going to save a lot more money. So it's all good having these pump sprayers and stuff, but they do chew product. So if you're doing this yourself at home, so what this is going to do, this acid now, is basically going to work like a fallout remover, okay? And any fallout that's on there is going to get eaten out. Now this is where chemical knowledge becomes really, really important, because this isn't about spotless water now and chemicals, this is about the sun. And if this product dries out a little bit on these soft faces, we have got some serious bloody issues. Which is why I'm going to be doing this. And as soon as I've gone round, this is where I don't need this to dry out. So what am I going to use, guys, to stop this from drying out? Come on. Questions and answers. We're applying some more. Yes, you got it in the comment section. You know what I'm going to do. Yes, that's it. What did I mix up earlier? I mixed up some Garage Therapy wheel foam. That's it. That's right. So now, this is where it comes into the old rinsing scenario. Does rinsing the panel work more? Does this work? No, this is what it's about. This is what we're doing. We're increasing the dwell time. So the shampoo now is going to stop. It's not going to make it stronger. No, it's not going to make it stronger. It's going to allow a blanket of product to go over the top that's going to have longer dwell time, not extra strong results. It's going to give me a safety blanket. Exactly. I can hear you saying that from your sofas. That makes sense, Johnny boy. Yes, it does. Now, what you can do at this point, you could start doing your wheels, right? I'm not going to bore you with wheel cleaning, because wheel cleaning is boring. I'll do that off camera. But also for those guys that run a detailing business, they've got a water tank. The reason why I'm doing my wheels last is because obviously efficiency. Why have I got a 1 bucket method? Because I want to save myself 20 litres. This process should help, hopefully, stop me from having issues of running out of water. And last thing you want to be doing is running out of water when you're on a mobile job. That is spectacular. So now, panel temps are still cool. Panel temps are still cool. So, let's go, baby. Another dose of this puppy. I'm still yet to test Gary's Therapy Decon shampoo in a spray bottle to wash wheels with. What, Johnny, you've had that for how long? Yes, I know, but I've got my processes. I know what works for me. I don't want to become a GT junkie. I like the products, yeah, but I'm not a. I will find some use for them, I'm sure. I told that to Maz the other day. I was like, Maz, I haven't used Gary's Therapy as a pre-wash yet, and he literally was started to fight with me on a phone call. Thought it was rude. Thought I was rude. Now most of the car's clean, guys, but there's just some stubborn areas. Getting those grills. Getting those grills. That's it. I doubt there's going to be any, if there's any protection on it, I'll tell you what, it won't be on there for long. I'll tell you that. There's a difference with this now, right? Because there's still a bit of grit left over on this product, on this vehicle. I don't want to be getting my wash mitt out and travelling grit around, because this paint, let me tell you, is super soft. It's rock hard to correct, and it scratches so easily. Flat paints scratch easily. Even though it's BMW paint and it's quite hard to correct, it's not the hardest, it's not quite Mercedes, but it's definitely not Tesla. So, but it does, honestly, I don't know what BMW have done to their paints, but they've made it it's super delicate to refine and super hard to cut. Let me know down in the comment section if you're a detailer, if you've been playing with paints. But like I said, there's certain situations. But what I've found is, if you have got this model car, if you have got the 2008, 2017, 2018 car, H802 with the Rupes wool pad, which is the fine pad, is absolutely fantastic. It's a great product. So that's like now we are ready to rinse off. Not long. I need to check how much water we've got. So we go straight off the alloys as well now. Oh baby, she's come back. She's starting to bleed. She's starting to do some work. The ceramic's back, baby. Come on, who else is talking? Come on. Where are you? Where are you, boys and girls, huh? So like, with this situation now, I'm just rinsing off that last bit of stubborn dirt. I don't have to go too mad, panel by panel. There's just that last little bit. And actually I'm starting to see the wax. I'm actually starting to see the wax come back. The wax is coming to life, guys. Excellent, excellent. Just keeping these panels cool. I wish I'd have ceramic coated this car, to be honest with you. So I'm going to go, there's a bit of controversy coming up in a minute, guys. There's a little bit of controversy coming up. There's a tool I've got up next, which I bloody hated for a long time. Especially as someone who uses waxing away in garage therapy. There's a Canon that's controversial in the detailing world. But I bought it for YouTube because it does so many good numbers. I wanted to test it and see how good it was. So I was obsessed with the thicker foam, I wonder if you guys can tell me exactly what you think I'm using. So let's get you in, let's have a little look. Leave that on the floor, shouldn't leave your tools on the floor. Right, let me show you now. Okay. Let's get into have a closer look. So now you can see from before and after we have got, in my estimation, or my perfect opinion, a car now that is ready for a contact wash. Look how well that acid has kicked its ass. Look at that. How mucky were they before? These areas, look. Looking good. So now we're just left with road traffic film. So let's go and get stuck in. Let's go and get stuck in. And let me show you this controversial but efficient product that you guys are going to love. And I know not a lot of people like the 3 foam method. What does the 3 foam method mean? Well, 3 foam method means citrus, snow foam, and then a shampoo. So here she is. We're going to mix up fresh. The MJJC foam lance. Okay. This creates such a thick foam. And why I like it is I now love it for using it with shampoos. Who's ringing me now? Go away. Don't you know I'm live on YouTube? Don't you know I'm with the fans? So, I'll tell you what I haven't used yet. I haven't used it well. And I don't know why, because I tend to use other products. But we're going to use the Garage Therapy car shampoo. Let's see how thick that is. Let's see. Since it is a Garage Therapy session, let's try this puppy. So let's go down the same rabbit hole. Let's rinse this product out. Make sure there's nothing in there. That's it. So let's go 30 mils. Now I think Garage Therapy, if you are watching this in America, I've got, for some reason, I've got a really big American audience compared to UK audience, which I think people just love me more in America. Do you know what? Let's test it really well. 15 mil. 15 mil. That's it. All we're going to use, 15 mil. Have I made a mistake? So now we're going to use 500 mils of litre. There we go. $500 mils of water, right? And this is what I was talking about before. Is again mixing up your product. That pure real shampoo A little bit stuck at the bottom. Just do a bit. There we go. A little bit at the bottom just to compensate. Get those measurements right. So mixing this together, like I said, because I think the word is viscosity. It's quite thick. It's not too bad actually. The run's quite runny. You can tell I haven't used a lot of this. Not much. But I've not used it in the Canon. There we go. So what we're going to do now is we're going for the one bucket method. Because we're using the foam and now we've got the car into a really good position. What we're going to do now is let's get out of this. That's it. Hey, if you're watching, I love you guys. I love it. If you didn't follow me on Instagram before, back in the day when I first started, I was the live guy. I was always live on Instagram. Now, what I want to find out is, for the guys who run businesses, is how much water have I got left? Oh, ho, ho. So, that much water left. So we're talking around 50, 60 litres left in there. So we're going to fill this bucket up halfway because we're going to need that. We're going to need that for this. Now, I did take 2 buckets worth out of this. So there was 40 litres missing already from 200 litres. And obviously you've got to remember, car's tilted on the side. So what I tend to do sometimes is I tend to jack the car off on one side to sort of pull the tank in the other way around. But we're just going to literally, all I need this for is going to be a rinse bucket. Okay. So let's, a little sprinkle. Just a sprinkle tinkle of product in there. Get ourselves a garage therapy wash mitt. The big old fella. And this is where we're going to add some concentration. So what we're going to do now is just going to layer on a little bit of product on both sides. Just a drizzle. Just a drizzle. I feel like Ainsley Harriott now. Whack that in. That's going to be enough. So got half a bucket. We've got the quick guard in there, so we're safe as houses. So now all we need to do is get ourselves revved up, ready for the contact wash. And this comes down to now the magic moment. Can you one bucket a car without getting any scratches on it? We are here to find that out. So let's get it revved up. Vroom, 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 vroom. What are all these sound effects I'm giving you? How old are you, Johnny? 10? We got 2 comments on there. Amazing. 2 comments. We're winning. Right then. That's it, you are there, yeah. You're there. Do-do-do-do. So this is the luxury, like I said, about you are working outside. Now I have got double gazebos. So like I said, most of the time I'll be using this, but I just wanted to show you what you guys are like at home. Look at the gloss on this car, by the way. Look at the gloss on this puppy. Right then, so you've got the MJGC Lance, and let's see what this 15 mils to 500 mils. Let's see how we get on. Is this going to work or not? Doing this because I've just taken the hose off, haven't I? And I didn't prime it. Come on, baby. Look at the thickness on that. Come on, look at that. Look at that. 15 mils to 500 mils of water. Come on for the ratios. Now, why is that working so well? It's because of the mixing process. It's because I've broken down the chemicals. Look at that. So if you've got your MJJC Lance, you can put it to good use. I've run out of products already. Look, look how quickly that dilutes that. That's mental. Literally gone through product, eating that all up. Eating it all up, guys. That's mental. Wowzers. That's crazy. It shows how much how quick that product goes through it. We're gonna have to just for the sake of this, I've got my got some Decon shampoo already in a Lance which I use. So we're just gonna improvise so I don't have to keep mixing stuff up, because the last thing you want to watch is that. That's what happens, see? Don't go wrong in this, don't go wrong. Don't mess me about. This is real life stuff, this is what happens. Things don't go to plan. There we go. So I had some G-wash in here. This is why I took it out. This is G-wash, by the way. And if anyone knows that they've ever applied G-wash for a snow foam cannon, you know that G-wash is slick, so it doesn't foam up. So by mixing it up, this is G-Technic G-wash, by the way. So again, by mixing this up, there you go. That's a good point, basically, to say that it's actually the mixing process that's created the consistency, not the product. Isn't that an interesting topic? So now I'm all over. See, now I'm all over the oki. Turn the wrong things off. Right, we've got our shampoo bucket. Got our wash mitt. That's the one. So I forgot to top myself up. So now we've got our garage therapy wash media. Remember I laid the shampoo in there, nice. Highest part of the vehicle first. Lovely, lovely, bubbly. Half a panel, flip. Now I've got, well, in my bucket I've got a Cyclone grit guard, okay? Which is probably one of the safest grit guards out there. It's a fantastic little product, you can Google it. It's a great little product. So I'm just going to get the glass in first, okay? Because I always find there's a good little topic on glass which I want to talk about. So glass cleaning. Should you use a glass cleaner on the maintenance wash? Oh, that's a bit controversial. Has anyone seen Dave from Epic Car Show? use a wet chamois to clean glass instead of using glass cleaner. It's a really interesting topic. Now, whenever I wash I'm a hairdresser, so whenever I wash my mirrors at home, I used to do them every fortnight. I use glass cleaner. I was always taught in the salon to use glass cleaner on every night before we finish work. But on every week, we always used to use fairy liquid and soapy water and a squeegee to clean the windows. And it used to come up perfect. So do you really need glass cleaner to wash glass is the answer. And I believe no. And I think if you wash the glass well enough, and especially if you've got spotless water like we have today, I think you only need to use glass cleaner on the inside, and I think you're going to get a great result on the outside, because you should be able to get all this dirt off. Because everyone knows glass is a horrible job. Hate it, but it looks the best when it's done. Getting that glass nice and clean, nice and scrubbed up. Beautiful. Right. Dunk. Outside the bucket. Dunk. Outside the bucket. There we go. Rinsing off outside. And we're always taking from the top. We're taking from the top of the bucket. We're not taking from the bottom of the bucket. We're not going to just... That's like washing the car from the bottom upwards. If there's any stones and grit in there, one, I'd feel it. You'd feel it. You'd hear it. It'd sound like contamination. And two, it sinks to the bottom. There we go. Now the weight of this microfiber is just, it's a monster. So you don't need to be heavy with it. Treat it like a nice girl's rear end. Be gentle with it. Caress it. Take your time. Look after it. And if you're gay, it might be your boyfriend's rear end. Whatever you fancy. I don't care. I don't judge. Look at the foam on that. Look at the quality of it. Look at the softness in it. Look at the texture of that foam. It's bloody beautiful. It's gorgeous. You're starting to really see the coating come back now. I'm starting to really see things happen, which I'm pleased about. I had big hopes for this product. Now I'm not going to go all the way to the side skirts. Come on, don't be, you know, I'm not a lunatic. We've got a separate brush for that. You know the drill. You've got to admire your work. You've got to enjoy your job, haven't you? You've got to enjoy it. Get stuck in. Come on. So I want to know what you guys think about the one bucket. Oh, is it dangerous? Or is it genius? Well, that's a good thumbnail, isn't it? I'll tell you what, I've got to say, this car still feels slicker than an otter's pocket. She's still good. She is Gucci. Still no comments. Still no comments. Come on. If you're watching, get stuck in. Come on. I love you. Talk to me. Terry Tibbs, talk to me. So, have you got 2 wash mitts? Have you got 1 wash mitt? I mean, that to me is suicide, guys. Come on. You need 2 wash mitts. You need 2 of them. So what you probably haven't noticed, what I'm going to do already is, now I've got the 1 bucket, we're going to be using the wash bucket. Oh, this is controversial. Should I be sharing this? We're going to be using the wash bucket It's got to turn into the wheel bucket. You're joking. No way, Johnny. Stop it. Behave yourself. You're mental, mate. You're crazy. You're a lunatic. What are you doing? Have you seen how dirty a wash bucket gets, by the way? Have you seen how have you seen how dirty they get? Have you seen people washing their wheels? And they're using easy detail brushes on their wheels and not wheel woolies. And they're scratching their granny out of it. On black wheels. All the time on reels. And you're going to have a go at me about using leftover wash water on my wheels? On a clean car? Come on. Detailing's not hard. Just common sense. Come on. Since the world of social media, we've made it complicated. No one used to wash like this back in the day. Nobody. Because we're going to polish a car, they're just going to hang out the back of it like a lunatic. Things have changed, my boys. People make content sometimes, and they say things, and it makes it super complicated. And unfortunately, when I came into the industry, I was petrified. I used to ask my teacher how much shampoo I used to have to mix up. Do you know how anxious it makes you to wash a car? It's crazy. It's ludicrous. It's insane. Need to try and debunk some of these theories. And trust me, guys, and I say trust me because I want your trust, I polish cars to perfection. So if I was to see something that wasn't working, the car will tell me. Trust me, the car will tell me. So we're going to make a special appearance now for the one and only monkey mitt, or as Paul Dolden likes to call it, the monster mitt. So what we're going to do now is, this is an important part of the process. By the way, just take a look at those suds. Come on, take a look at those suds. Look at the texture of that. By the way, look at the water. Can you see down the bottom? Absolutely nothing. No dirt down there whatsoever. Come on. Let's get this bit done. Right. So we've got a last little bit of detail to do before we rinse this off, before we conclude. And I will be doing a Q&A at the end. So get your questions ready because I want to give you some help. If there's anything you've been watching and you agree or disagree with, I'd love to debate with you about it. And we all talk about the circumstances. So the title of this video was how to wash cars in the sun, right? And I want to know whether you think washing them how I washed today is safe or unsafe. And also bear in mind, this isn't a black car, but we've got another treatment to go after this, which is, if you're still watching, we can get stuck into. If you've got a car that's got PPF, by the way, this is for the PPF watchers. The black nozzle here is really good. Let me just swap them over. You probably see sometimes on YouTube, you see people using hoses. The black nozzle, a lovely little rinser. There you go. How's that for satisfying? So I put some, when this goes on a live video, I'll put some sexy music. Cue the sexy music. So Andrew says, the one bucket method, I use one bucket and use around 8 mitts for a wash. 8 mitts for a wash? 8 mitts? Come on, Andrew. Come on. Split your car into sections and use 1 mitt per section. You never use a mitt back on, never return a mitt back in his bucket. Now, I want to know what paintwork it's on. I want to know why. Are you pre-washing? Are you going through the pre-wash stages? I want to know if you're going through pre-washer stages. That's because if you were telling me you were using 8 mitts and you were doing ONR, I would go, you're absolutely giving yourself that little extra bit of protection okay, against scratching. Now, when it comes to when you're polishing a car, okay, in a unit, when I worked in the unit, right, is what you'll find is once the car is squeaky clean with no protection, so clay wash, clay bar, machine polished, what happens to the paintwork when it's been machine polished and corrected is it turns into very squeaky paint, super squeaky, right? So whenever you use a cloth to buff off polish, what will happen is you can end up with cloth marring, and that really is important, you guys, if you're going to be doing a ceramic, because the type of if you don't use the panel wipe that comes with the protection, you could run into some issues with cloth marring. And the type of cloth you could use as well is really interesting, and that depends on different paintwork. Yeah, I get it. No, I get it. Listen, I'm only teasing with you, mate, because you're absolutely right. Listen, but I just want to debunk these myths, because the problem is, I know you're never going to return dirt, but these shouldn't. If the pre-wash is done well, do you know where that 8 method bucket came from? The 8 minute bucket wash come from? Hey, by the way, Ammo uses 8 Kirklands microfibers, but he's polishing the car before he does it. The reason why those tips have come out is because there's a lot of people in America that a 2 bucket wash method basically was invented so that you're not cross-contaminating the rinse bucket and the shampoo bucket, because the people who do the 2 bucket method back in the day weren't pre-washing with 3 foams. They were literally just snow foaming and then going in. They would take a car, they'd rinse it, they snow foam it, and off they go, right? So that's the reason why. I can guarantee you 1,000,000%, especially on this car that's, again, really fiddly paint. I've washed it this way since I polished it, and the results on it, and I would see it, are fine. So listen, safety is key, but if you're talking about your Audi TT on white paint, what basically is you've got nothing to worry about, mate. But if you want to be fast and efficient, why not have 8 buckets? Why not have 8 buckets? It's a good tip, but trust me, there's no detailer out there that's using 8 mitts. There's no one out there professionally using 8 mitts. Why is it over there? Why have I bumped you over there? What was I doing? The wind must have blown you. There's no one out there that's using, like I said, and they're all working on high-end cars. So that's come back really well. We're loving that, absolutely loving that. I need to bring you in, guys, because I want to show you what's that done and what that's done. But Andrew, I love it, and I love you, son. And if you haven't seen Andrew from the Car Boutiques channel, the amount of protection that guy tests, go and check it out, because he's absolutely killing it at the moment. So please go and subscribe to him, because his presentation skills are phenomenal. So look, you can start to see this product's trying. God loves a trier. It's definitely trying to come back. Look, this was it's still a little flat. Still a little flat. So there's 2 things we need to do now. There's 2 things we need to do, and that is, we need to do the dirty areas. That's not my brain. So what we need to do now is we need to... Citrus? Hello, darling. So now, once we finish this bit, now if the car's pretty clean, you just need to use your show. Look at that, I've just scratched myself. What have I done? Look at that, danger. I might have to write that in the PPE book. So, I don't need that brush. What are you using that brush for, Johnny? Come on, mate. Pay attention. Pay attention, Johnny boy. You know what it is. Red for danger. That's it. So, our soft little makeup brush. There we go. So now we're going to go around, and now the car's been rinsed. Like I said, we've got a little bit of time. to go in, get into these little areas. These are all the armpits of the area. Now we're left with, you can do these sometimes at the beginning if you want the wash process. I always find get the panels in, get them done. There we go. That's it. Get them in there. You get the gist. You know what I'm talking about. Like I said, lucky enough for that microfiber. It's pretty good. That it gets mostly everywhere in everywhere anyway. But just in those little areas around the... Get in there. Now, because this is kept near trees and stuff, there is a little bit of pollen overflow. So, badge. Don't forget the wing mirrors. Backs of the wing mirrors. Area that gets missed a lot is underneath the wing mirrors. Remember that organic matter that was in there? Just lift that up and agitate that. Bloody hurting that scratch now. Door handles. Remember, because we opened the doors, we were lucky that the car was rinsing itself as well. So we didn't have to open the doors to spray water everywhere. If you find that the car's super dirty in those areas, you can steam clean them out. Got a couple of videos on my channel for that, if you want it. All over that one. Just around, obviously, the number plate. On the badge. Just around the edges, but it looks pretty clean. Again, we leave the exhaust till last, because that comes under the wheel process. That area there. But also, going back to Andrew's comment about the 8-wheel mitt thing, if you're out there washing and you're worried about stuff, then it's a great go-to process to do that sort of stuff, to be honest with you. Because, like I said, you're going to save. You might save more water, because if you're going to be doing a 2-bucket method and you haven't got any pre-wash, then it's a safe method. So, if water is your problem, if you live in a flat and all that sort of stuff, then I recommend like a battery operated pressure washer. But all this pre-washing we've done, we've guarded against that safety. Just check those. Vous petit belle, as they say in the doink. Don't know why I went all Only Fools and Horses then. Has anyone been watching Matt Morman, by the way, on Obsessed Garage recently? I'll tell you what, some of his podcasts have been outstanding. Absolutely outstanding. Loving his work. Like, it's really long form content, right? And they always say on YouTube, fucking hurts that does. They always say on YouTube, make an 8-minute video. Make an 8-minute video. Make an 8-minute video. That's the prime thing. Sometimes it's nice to make longer form content, right? And some of his long form content's really interesting, and there's context to it. And I think, like I said, I come from the old days where we used to sit down and watch stuff rather than just flick through reels and stuff. So it was, you get to understand someone's character and personality. But yeah, if you haven't seen his latest ones about pressure washers in the beginning of it, I didn't realise actually how long he'd been doing this and how long he'd been working with Cransell and MTM and those kind of companies and fiddling around with stuff as well. And so yeah, I'll try and leave a link. I'll leave a link to that in the description after, because I think if you're interested in that sort of stuff and you want something to listen to on the way to work, yeah, I think you'll you guys will get a lot out of that, because there's some good context in there. And if you're making content as well, it's a lot of the stuff he puts out is factually correct, which is really, this is the important part about making content, is factually correct. Don't just steal someone's comments from another video. Make sure it works, because if someone says, if John Forensic says Built Amber Snow Foam or Surfax HD is the best at 10-1, don't just trust that. Make sure you go and see other people's videos and stuff. Do you know what I mean? Because it's really, really important. It is, because where they live, location, water, all these things play a big factor into the results of these things. So that's why I wanted to do some of this live stuff. And I want you guys to know, now we're in the summer, do you want to see more of this? Do you want to see a weekly wash? Do you want to see a weekly wash? Do you want to is there anything you want to talk about? Is there any other topics? Do you want to talk about the pressure washers? Do you want me to talk about the IK systems, the product ranges I'm using, any tools, techniques, machine polishing? Do you want anything that's one-to-one? If there's anyone who wants to come out for some training, do you want to come visit me? There's a lot of people on Facebook groups that struggle a lot with. Facebook groups are full of questions that YouTubers could answer, really. So I love to teach, I love to coach. It's one of my biggest things I love is helping other people. So I hope this is adding value. I hope this is giving you value. I hope this has been a little bit entertaining. And I honestly, truly appreciate those who've been watching and those who watch. And I'll leave some links down in the description to the podcast. I've got a Patreon site that's come up. I'm doing for the podcast. So if you like long form content, you like content that's been unedited, and you want to see it in its rawest format, then there's some stuff coming out. So the podcast will be literally launching very soon, which is exciting times, because I've spent 3 or 4 months editing all these shows. So hopefully they'll come out, and I'll obviously put them on Spotify as well. So we're not going to bore you with the wheels. I'll have to go get some more water for that, but we're just going to rinse off, and we're going to now go into something that's slightly different. We're going to do a water spot treatment, because we're going to see if we can lift up any more of this out of this. Let's see if we can lift up any more of this. Let's see if this wax is completely dead. We're running low on water. Now you can see. So I doubt we're going to get the water treatment in without me going to get more water. So I might have to finish that and have that as after content. It's because it's the pressure washer is super aggressive. It goes through product really quickly. And I've got enough to rinse off that shampoo, luckily. So moving through the next process, what you do is, if you're doing this as a maintenance wash at home, all you got to do now is dry off the car, apply yourself some quick detailer, or get yourself onto the wheels, and you are good to go. And I want to make sure my battery don't run out as well. So guys, let's start with a bit of Q&A. So while that's drying off, now we've got the spotless water in there, so we are good to go. So now it's time for the end of the show Q&A. I'll come back on in a bit. I'll tell you what I will do is when I get some water, I'll come on and I'll finish the wheels off as a part 2. So if you want to watch part 2, you can come back. I'll be back in about half an hour. But let's finish off this video after I've just wounded myself with a bit of Q&A. So got myself some phone here. Let's go through. I want to. Where's what? We've got 8 people watching. One of them's me, so 7. So Andy from the Car Boutique. Thank you, pal. Just make sure we got a bit more headroom there. Hopefully Andy will come out one day and we'll do some wash and talks together. That'd be quite good. That'd be a great podcast. Let me go through these comments. Jonny has more kit on his head than Predator. Yeah, got the GoPro on my head. We went through the 1 bucket method. Main reason, doesn't matter how we're using it, never gets cleaner the bucket. Yep. Pre-wash is effective in 1 minute, 1 bucket. Yep. Andy agrees on that. Cheers, bro. Appreciate the plug. No problem at all. I think the emphasis of pre-wash in this video is super important. I see too many spray on, rinse off immediately and not let the chemical do its thing. Top tips here. Appreciate that, mate. Really, really appreciate it. While that's refreshing, please, 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 to those who are watching, put your name down in the description so I know who you are, so I can get in touch with you. So I know that next time if you ever comment on my videos, I know who you are, and also where you're from. Be interesting to know. So a quick refresh on the products. We went through using the pre-wash on the wheels. We used a bit of Garage Therapy Snow wheel shampoo to use as a pre-wash to start with. We then moved into the Garage Therapy Snow Foam with the citrus in the cannon in the pump sprayer. So that was 8,000 millilitres, so 300 mils of citrus with 100 mils of snow foam, which gave us a 1:15 ratio. The snow foam I added to it because it gives it a little bit more thickness, otherwise it would run off the car. And when you're washing cars in the sun, the most important part of this video is obviously the fact that the sunshine and having spotless water is going to be your friend, right? So the sun is the enemy, the spotless water is your friend. So now when you're out here as well, if you are in the business, what you're going to find is you're going to have this amazing ability now to just allow the car to dry in the sun. You can then jump on the interior if you're doing this for a living. You can jump on this if you're doing it for a living. You can jump on the interior while the rest of the car is drying. It's going to make life a lot easier. Not had any lunch yet. This was sort of more about the Garage Therapy range. There is going to be a video coming out hopefully this summer where Maz is going to come out and see us. Maz is going to come down. So if there's anyone around that uses Garage Therapy and they want a bit more knowledge on it, I'm not sure whether Maz wants to do a one-to-one with me or whether we'll do a bit of a group session. But if there's any YouTube creators that want to come out and spend some time using the products and getting some hands-on stuff, I think that'd be great. I will ask Maz first. I'm not going to speak on his behalf. He might just want to spend time with me and me only. But I think that'll be quite a good thing to do, that we can have a little Garage Therapy training day here. We've got all the facilities, we've got all the products. If there's any tips you want about machine polishing, I've got a machine polishing playlist. If you love that sort of stuff, that's on the video. If you are interested in one-to-one training, if you're thinking about getting into a business and you want some one-to-one training, I do offer day training on the basics. Maybe you don't even want to get into car detailing. Maybe you just want to be able to wash your own car. I offer all those services for you. And this year, because I've got the premises now, and I've got this little haven in the sun, I get the opportunity to play with it. Now, what I will say about this whole topic about washing the cars in the sun is, please, 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 you're doing this at your own risk. Don't come and fire, don't shoot the messenger. For a living, I'm used to working in these environments. I understand how my chemicals work, and I understand the risks I'm taking when I'm doing these sort of things. So use this at your own risk. This isn't something you can come back at me at and say, well, he told me on YouTube I could do this. Listen, if in doubt, okay, do not wash your car in the midday sun. Make sure you wash your car either in the morning when it's cool or in the evening when it's cool. Washing your car in the midday sun is something that I would always recommend to professionals. But if you are a geek and you are someone who really, really, really loves washing their car, then invest in some good stuff. Maybe get yourself a water tank. Maybe go to Spotless Water and get some Spotless Water. Maybe wash panel by panel. Maybe look at some videos that are coming out on the Jonny Shiell Detailing YouTube channel around rinseless washing. I'll leave a link. I'll leave links to all these videos in the description so you guys can get some more input. Rinseless washing is unbelievably good and unbelievably safe. There's some really exciting news from a brand I know that's going to be bringing out some more products on rinseless. I've got to test the Optimum No Rinse version 2. I use Absolute PNS Absolute at the moment, as well as a rinseless wash, which is a great product. That's a great one. Adam, thanks buddy for commenting. See, Adam's got involved. Great video on the GT range and your process, Adam in Chichester. Thank you, Adam. Really appreciate it, mate. Really appreciate that, and great to get a name for Adam as well. Fantastic. Where was I? So yeah, rinseless products. So I've got some rinseless here that I kind of use, and sometimes I have my own little products. Like I said, I've got everything well branded and labelled up. But just little things like this work really, really well. whenever I run out of water, like I said, now the car's pretty clean, I can just spray down the panel. If you haven't seen the Ivan LaCroix, which I did a great little podcast with Ivan recently, that's going to be coming out in the podcast. You can use the rinseless water. And like I said, I can use this for glass, I can use this for all sorts of stuff. So it's a great little product. Let me get my glass cleaning towel. 1 second. My little waffle towel. Waffle? So yeah, Adam, I hope that really helps with the GT range. Fantastic products, mate. Oh, that's contamination on there. Yuck. Yuck. That is horrible. That needs to be clay barred. That's disgusting. That's the problem with this time of year, guys. So the different types of contamination you're working with at different times of the year. This car is parked really near a tree, so what we're going to end up with is all that organic matter is bedding into the clear coat, and that's what happens. And this is one of the things I talk about making sure, you know, regular washing is key. And that's where talk about the rinseless washing. It's really important because if you can get your car washed. Listen, if you enjoy washing your car, you can wash it every day. But like I said, if it doesn't get too dirty and it's just dust you're removing. So let me give you a little scenario which would be easier. If I'm working on a car for 3 days and it's out here and I come back out and I'm always working against dust. So one of the biggest problems I've got working outside is the fact that there's going to be dust blowing around all the time. So if I'm polishing a panel, I could be working on this area, but as the time goes on, if I've spent an hour or 45 minutes on this panel, this area here is going to start getting dusty, and that's where using like O&R to kind of like rinse panels down, you can sort of use it to, and like I said, all the surfactants in it, all the polymers and stuff are great, you know. And like I said, listen, even, you know, I haven't done the side skirts yet, have I? Right? So look, even down here, right, we haven't finished the side skirts, okay? And the reason why it's called no rinse is because you don't need to rinse it. And when I get myself my sponge, my magic sponge, what it's going to be able to do is I lift it up, and that is the key factor, is having the sponge, which you can, if you want to choose, you can have the Optimum sponge. The Optimum sponge is a red sponge. You can use the Rag Company sponge, which is a black sponge. Both work really well. All you need to do is literally, even in your wash bucket, you can still use it in your wash bucket. And I'll show you how, and I'll show you why, right? Let me get you in here, because this is important. And this is if you get stuck, right? So let's say you're working on a vehicle and you've missed a bit. Oh no, I've missed a bit, I've forgotten. And if I forget to do the side skirts, you know, crime investigation, right? Back in the same bucket. Remember, I didn't put too much shampoo in there, did I? So I just literally, what was in the wash mitt, I can then literally wash that dirt away, okay? That's it, dip, and squeeze, release, down the bottom. And that's why these sponges are really good, because they let go. Microfibers hold on to things, sponges let go. If you can polish with a sponge, you can wash a car with a sponge. Not just any sponge though, guys, come on, let's be serious. So, now that's all washed, okay? But Johnny, come on mate, you could just put soap back on the vehicle. You're right, oh no, what have I done? Reenactment again. Get yourself my rinseless wash. What have I done? Oh, okay. What? An IK foam? An IK sprayer? Oh, I'll just rinse it like that then, shall I? I'll rinse it off. And what have we just created? We can now get bugs off. We can now clean glass. We can now get any dirt, bird poo, anything off the vehicle. Because we've now got our little bird poo remover, haven't we? And all you got to do is just rinse that off. Look at these bonus tips. Come on. That's worth a lot. Listen, if that's not worth a thumbs up on this video, I don't know what is. I don't know what is. So there's a great reason for doing that sort of stuff. So yeah, so like I said, let me give you a little walk around. We're going to get to this video. We'll come back in. If you want to come back in half an hour, guys, and watch me do the wheels, I'll do a wheel process for you from start to finish. But you 8 people, or 7 people, because including myself, I've watched it. Absolutely fantastic. I will be trying to edit this down later on for small bits of content. But let's have a look at this. Let's have a look at this. You remember from back at the beginning, the car was in a real bad state. And as you can see, there are some swirls on this now. Like I said, not from me washing it. Can you see in there? Can you see that one? That's where the cat's doing tap dance on it. There's a bloody local cat. It's a pain in the ass. But even the pre-washing on the wheels. Look at the way the wheels have come up now from that pre-wash process. So there was four attempts, and we have had no contact on those wheels yet. The badges look clean. Look at the organic matter that was stuck in here. All gone from the pre-wash. Everything on the roof disappeared. The pre-wash routine, those chemicals, you cannot underestimate how good these chemicals are. Look at the faces, look, we haven't even touched them. We haven't even cleaned the wheels yet, and they're ready. Why not treat the rest of the vehicle exactly the same? One thing always be careful of is always, you can buy some Atomac, which works okay. It's not the best product, it does a job, but you can spray them on the rims. But always take your car for a little spin up the road. Proof is in the pudding. Door shuts, looking back to factory. Don't ask me why he's got 2 bloody mats and a pillow. Maybe he's got the piles or something, I'm not sure. Who knows? Back of the car, obviously. You saw that at the beginning, guys, didn't you? I'll flick up some pictures now. If you're watching this in thing, I'll put some videos up of the little walk around we did. But looking brand new. So listen, guys, I hope you really enjoyed that. That was, honestly, for me, I've not done a live in ages. It's Bank Holiday Monday. It's great to be out here. If you're interested in anything we've been discussing, if you've got any questions, you can hit me up on Instagram. You can hit me up on TikTok. You can hit me up on Twitter. I'm everywhere. I'm all over the place. So thanks for watching, guys. I really, really, really appreciate it. And I will see you guys in half an hour back here, ready for the wheel process. So if you want to come back, you want to see how I'm going to attack these wheels with all the tools I'm going to be using, all the different chemicals and products I'm going to be using, how I get around it, and also how I wash the wheels after I wash the car. Is there going to be any problems with washing it? Last little bit, I'm just going to show you. Hopefully it's dried under here now, in these little areas. Oh, I'm looking at myself. Come on. Spin, spin, sugar. So remember, look at the pressure washer's done most of the work. There's a little bit of debris down there, which we can have a little attack on in a minute, but nobody's perfect. All these little buds and stuff, but it's a lot better than what it was. And you'll find when plastic's nice and clean, it's hydrophobic. See you guys in half an hour.